So,
Hello and welcome to Kirov International Music Festival podcast series. Our guest today is Dr. Sung Ho Yang, or Henry Yang. Korean pianist Dr. Sung Ho Yang has appeared in concert halls around the world, including solo recitals in Italy, Spain, Slovakia, Japan, South Korea, and the United States. Dr. Yang has given a recital in Jordan Hall, Mala Sala Slovenska Filharmonia, Palau della Musica, Auditorium di Bolzano, Auditorium Santa Chiara, Teatro Civico di Vercelli, Casa de Musica, Williams Hall, Murphy Hall, Bruna Walter Auditorium, Kobe Bunka Hall, and many others. In Korea, Dr. Yang received a grand prize at the Segia Times piano competition. Dr. Yang has studied at the Seoul National University and at the New England Conservatory with a merit award and a scholarship to study with Hwa Kyung-boon and Russell Sherman. Dr. Yang also won a third prize in the Johann Nepomuk Hummel International Piano Competition and a second prize in the International Competition of Piano Performance, Florestano Rosamandi. So, Dr. Yang, please tell me, should I address you as Sung Ho or Henry? What do you prefer?
I prefer Sung Ho.
Sung Ho?
Yes, and my full name is Sung Ho Yang.
Sung Ho
And
Yang.
yeah, thank you. It's been wonderful meeting you today. And then I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about the role of a musician in 21st century. Can I proceed?
Well, of course, and we are very happy to hear you. I just wanted to say that, the goal of these series is for the audience members, for potential audience members, for festival participants, and just friends of the Kirov International Music Festival to get to know you better, to get to know all the faculty better, not just as performers, but also as human beings. So your philosophy, your teaching philosophy, your view on art, music, role of an artist. Yes, all that is extremely, extremely interesting and important.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. As a music teacher and a professional pianist, I must always strive for musical performance opportunities because we need to preserve classical music culture. My colleague launched Bridge Music Festival inspired by her musical performance with great artists in Calgary in her youth. And as a founder, she received the support from American Federation of Musicians. We will be performing the Appalachian Spring with a song with festival students and a jazz singer. And I have been to numerous house concerts in NYC performed by professional musicians. Music became perfect medium in the small form of society. I felt that people still desire to listen to classical music. In order to keep up with that, I must nurture young audiences who are my students in many schools. In my community, I must develop young students' musicianship and critical music hearing ability by teaching them in the highest artistic level. So
Yes.
that's my personal thoughts in music education. And
well, let me ask you a question. Actually, several questions. Do you think that classical music, the way we perceive classical music, will survive throughout the 21st century?
Classical music to survive.
Yes, whether it will survive.
I strongly believe classical music will survive. In order to do so, we need to nurture young students. do not have the exact answer, but we need.
Of course.
Yes.
I understand. Well, one of the issues that we have today, especially with the pandemic, everybody is so used to interacting online. You can access so much music, wonderful performance online, YouTube, on Spotify, through many other platforms. And one of the questions that I often receive: why should a student go to a concert? Why should the student go to a live event if they can hear stereo technology and also by all other means listed? We can hear so many wonderful performances without leaving our home. So in a traditional sense, when you have classical music recitals, you have classical music concerts, you have the audience that they come, they hear great artists play music. Do you think that format is going to survive? I mean, that form of classical music, that presentation of classical music will survive?
I believe in classical musical performance. Live concert will survive strongly because even though technology developed quite in order to capture that live streaming moment, there's something very special about interacting with artists. So it will, the usual performance form will be surviving, even though there are plenty of online stream platform is there. Those performances are highly acclaimed, but classical performance in live concerts will survive. That's my belief.
Oh, that's good to hear. So tell us more about, well, before we move to this topic, I wanted to ask you, Kirov International Music Festival, it's a huge undertaking, and we, our team, we really believe in a festival. But why do you think it is important for young musicians to sign up for festivals like the Kirov International Music Festival?
Oh yes, similar to my colleague. So young students need to have opportunity to interact with artists, to have inspirations, and not only that experience, also they need nourishment. They need to be nurtured, and also they need to have a concert opportunity, even though this difficult pandemic situations. That's why I think this music festival is very important, and especially it's very culturally wealthy for young students to be able to interact with artists. That's my thought.
Dr. Yang, tell us more about your teaching philosophy. Like, what is your teaching philosophy? How do you approach students, let's say beginner students or young students, aspiring musicians? How do you approach teaching? And what is teaching for you?
Yes, I teach. I have various age groups in my studio. I approach to students teaching philosophy. I approach to them. It's more like their depiction of sound and their thoughts. So I really try to embellish their personal thoughts in playing music, and in order to do so, the basic students must learn harmony and melody and rhythm, but they need to they really need to learn the backgrounds of composers, uh, and also the hidden details such as mhm, hidden details such as like meaning, hidden meaning, like a program musics. Uh, so composer try to depict some things in a various way. So that's one of excerpts of my teaching philosophy.
I see. Let me ask you, what do you think about music competitions? Are music competitions fair?
Oh, yeah, it was very interesting to see one of the Juilliard faculty doesn't allow their students to compete. Yeah, that was very striking, and I think it's important to have students to compete in international piano competitions. However, it's a process. Not students must not think the competition, winning the competition is their ultimate goal. One need to continue and develop their style throughout of their career. So, uh, yeah, so it's a process. Winning a competition is process. However, it shouldn't be the ultimate goal for numerous young students.
Hmm. I see. Tell us more about what are your hobbies outside music?
Oh, I ride a bicycle. That's my only hobby, and it's a road bike. And I recently I reduced some distance to 20 miles one way trip, and it's really beautiful to see outside rather than
Mhm.
driving. Um, and yeah, it feels, yeah, when I was riding outside, it's just I was able to feel the different temperature in two different locations, the dry air and also in the forest.
Mhm.
It was very cool air. I was able
Mhm.
to feel it, and um, that's only hobby for
The
now.
only hobby.
Mm.
Okay, well, it's a beautiful hobby and certainly a very healthy one. Um, Let me ask you, so how long have you lived in the United States?
I've been living almost 15 years now.
Okay, so would you say that no, you are more American now than Korean, or you're both?
Oh, I try to be yeah. So I I followed all the terrible newses last for the past years about politics and also the January 6th insurgent, and then also the tragedy in Breonna Taylor and else. And I feel I don't know, harder to say, but I'm more try to be Korean more rather than being
Mhm.
but I got involved. My wife, when she was voting, I was highly involved in politics, and
Mhm. I see. Tell us a little about your teaching. So we know you explained the teaching philosophy. You have probably a large number of students. Do you have any funny stories from your students performing or just from teaching experience, something fun, something funny that you would like to share with us?
funny. Mhm. Oh, oh, yeah. There's plenty, but harder to think. And any one funny story. Um, Let me see. Mm, mm,
That's okay. If you can't remember, that's fine. I mean, sometimes it's difficult when you're caught off guard, by by a question like this. So finally, what would you like to say to those students who are considering the Kirov International Music Festival? They're thinking about applying for it, and they're hopeful perhaps to study, your courses, individual lessons as well as your elective courses. Um, what would you say to the aspiring students? Why should they sign up for the Kirov International Music Festival?
oh, I mean, the faculties are great. Such a diverse faculty members, and then it will be wonderful opportunity for potential students to sign up Kirov International Festival. They will be acquainted to world graced faculty members, and also there will be 2 elective classes I might teach in this festival. One is Bach's articulations, and secondly, counterpoint in Baroque style. So, um,
Okay.
so that's why I highly recommend this music festivals for potential students.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for a lovely conversation. And we look forward to having you at the Kirov International Music Festival and hearing you perform and teach and lecture. It's going to be a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
It's
Thank you
been
so
nice.
much. Take care. Take care.
Okay. Good to see you finally.
Take care.